What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles. You're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. I'm doing a new segment on Real Talk with MJ. It's Monday. I'm MJ. MJ's Monday mailbag. I like it. You like it. I love it. Let's get right into it. We're going to answer questions from y'all about the Eagles. It can be about the Sixers. It can be about general sports. It can be about my life. We're going to mix it all. I know we had some breaking news earlier today with Jaire Alexander being cut, and we will answer that question. A lot of y'all have been asking for my thoughts on it. And here we go. Should the Eagles look at Jaire Alexander? Yes. Yes. It is a no-brainer for the Eagles to look at acquiring Jaire Alexander. And I've been hearing some stuff about, I don't want Jaire Alexander. He got cooked by A.J. Brown. Who doesn't get cooked by A.J. Brown? Everybody. Trent McDuffie, like the best cornerbacks in the game, they get cooked by A.J. Brown. He's one of one. So there's no shame in that. But I look at a guy in Jaire Alexander, 7 seasons in Green Bay. He is 28 years old. He's been second team All-Pro twice. He has 12 career interceptions. And in the 7 games he played this season, he had 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and 16 tackles. So he was extremely productive in the 7 games he played. What's the big issue? It's his health. In the past 4 years, out of 64 games, he's missed 32. He's missed 32. Well, I mean, come on. He's missed, well, actually 68. 68, he's missed 34. Okay, get my math right. So in the past 4 seasons, Jaire Alexander has missed 50% of all the available games. That's the one concern. But I feel like the Eagles are in a position that you can go out here, acquire Jaire Alexander, and you would be acquiring him not for that 17 mil that the Packers owed him. And if I'm Jaire, what do I say? Go out here, play for a Super Bowl winning franchise, and pull yourself a Josh Sweat, ball out in the biggest stage, and cash out next season, as long as you stay healthy. Because I know if the Eagles get Jaire Alexander and he stays healthy, it's over. It's been over, but that's going to be the tipping scale of this defense returning to what they were last season. And all I know is it just makes Keely Ringo better. It just makes Eli Ricks better. It just makes Adoree Jackson better. It makes that Holland Coop and Quenya. And one thing about Jaire Alexander, he reminds me of CJ Gardner-Johnson in this aspect. He's a fireball, hella passion, a little bit of a crash out. And you're going to need a couple of those guys. Maybe it's just one on your team. Maybe it's just one. One guy that is a little bit off, but you know he mean well. You know that he wants to compete at the highest level. I would look at Jaire Alexander. For sure. For sure. That's what it is there. Another comment. What can Hurts do to further his top 5 argument next year? I think what they're looking for Hurts to do is to have those gaudy passing numbers that you see from the Herberts and the Bakers, hell, even Sam Darnold last season. Like they want Hurts to do that next season. And we've always said, well, Saquon Barkley is in the backfield. You have the best offensive line, top 3 at worst in the league. You should go out here and run the damn ball and pick your spots when you want to pass the rock. I would say this. A way that Hurts can change the narrative about him, not that he needs to, but this is actually beneficial for the team, is if he becomes a more prolific passer so that it essentially pulls the weight off of Saquon to have 330 plus carries in a full season. Again, we've done that before. We did that last season, but I don't want to consistently rely on high reps from Saquon Barkley when you got Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Dallas Goedert coming back for one more season. It makes the most sense to utilize those guys. And I didn't even mention Jahan Dotson. So I would look for Jalen Hurts. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I got him passing for 4,000 plus passing yards next season. 100%. And the number one thing he will work on is his anticipation while processing reads. That's a flaw in his game that he got to improve on, and he will improve on that. So to answer your question, what can he do to stay in these talks? I've been had him top 5. This makes him in my top 2. Is Hurts number 2? It's Mahomes 1. I know some of y'all have said that Hurts is the best quarterback in the league. I love that too. It's whatever you think. I got respect for Mahomes and what he's done, so I'll have Mahomes in that higher regard. But ultimately, I would say that this is what Hurts must do to quiet and silence the doubters. That's what I'm looking for him to do right there. And speaking of the doubters, I want to talk about this. Somebody asked this, and we're going to dive into it. Angel Reese. I haven't spoken much on the WNBA up to this point. I'm looking at it though. Asia Wilson is on some 2018 bronze stuff. Nafisa Collier, honestly, might have a case to be the best player in the game. She's number 2 at worst. I'm looking at Kiki, USC grad, 4th overall pick. She's going crazy. Really, really going crazy. Like balling like the best rookie in the class, 14 and 10, 50% shooting. She's going crazy. So we've been watching the W, and we're going to have more on that. But the question is, what do I think of Angel Reese? Here's what I got to say. We got to stop this pity party for Angel Reese. Look, y'all, sports is very simple. If you ball out, the haters will fade. If you ball out, the haters ain't got nothing to say. So with Angel Reese, I'm sorry, but if you are averaging 9 points on 31% shooting, that's some ammo for the haters. So in order to combat that, you have to play better. And this is not exclusive for Angel Reese. Whether you're a man, a woman, black or white, if you have certain expectations, in order to silence the doubters, you have to play at a level that is higher than the expectations. Tiger Woods was literally not allowed to go in certain clubhouses. What did he do to combat that? When he got his opportunity, he balled out. And now look at who he's, looked at today. Look at the Tiger Woods today. Serena Williams faced way more criticism than Angel Reese. She was coming into a sport that outside of her and her sister, they ain't know no black girls in that sport. You know all the criticism, the racism that Serena Williams faced. How did Serena combat that? She balled out and is arguably the greatest tennis player of all time. Now, look, both of these athletes, everybody is still going to have some haters. Hell, LeBron James is the greatest athlete of all time. The greatest basketball player of all time. Number 2 at worst. And LeBron James, he still gets criticized. He still gets dragged. It's still people that make their living off of hating on LeBron James, and he's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. So this is not unique to Angel Reese. Sure, is she getting more criticism, and is there some racism in there that people want to use her bad play to be racist? Yes. But in order to have those people fade in large numbers, you have to ball out. And that's my biggest advice for her. F the haters, F the doubters, F the naysayers, ball out. Because what they going to do is when they keep seeing you have lackluster performances offensively, getting your own rebounds. Now, she's still a generational all time rebounder who is on her way to being the greatest rebounder in WNBA history. But if you want to be known for stuff outside of rebounding, you have to work on your game. You have to improve. And it's that simple. It's not rocket science, bro. That's why I love sports because you have the ability to write your narrative. Write your narrative. Kyrie Irving got a bunch of backlash for stuff on the court and off the court. How did he combat that? He balled out. He balled out. It's that simple. But I get annoyed when people are like, well, if even if Angel wins an MVP, they'll still hate. Well, yeah, it's social media. But if she balls out, best believe there's gonna be a lot of people saying, I done told you Angel Reese is nice. I done told you stop doubting her. And the folks that will still keep dragging her after she plays at an elite level, they just look like haters. Like they just look like people that would just hate her regardless. But that number is a minority compared to the people that support her. Like, I don't think Angel comes to a stadium and there isn't many girls that are looking at her, black or white, for an autograph, for a picture. Like, there's a difference between what happens in person and what happens online. And a lot of folks are going to say stuff online that they would never say to you. I know that personally from this old podcast. Like, I ain't Angel Reese famous, but shoot, like, I got a little bit of a following and they be like some people be wilding on social media, but I've never seen a hater say anything, knock on wood. Well, bring it on. But no violence. I ain't none of that. I'm just saying I ain't seen nobody keep that same energy on social media than they did in person. And it's the same for A-list, celebrities and all that stuff. So that's my ultimate thoughts on that. We'll get into another Eagles topic. Should the Eagles get Trey Hendrickson? I think they should look into it. I think that should definitely be on the table because I think if you look at all of the Eagles position groups, edge rusher probably concerns me the most. Now, the Eagles still have the best roster in the NFL, but if you're talking about some of the weakest links and with the least amount of depth, edge rusher is there. Even if you think, and I believe Nolan Smith is the truth, even though I believe that Jalen Hunt will have a breakout year, Azeez Ojulari has injury history. We don't know Joshua Uche. I mean, last time he was balling was with the Patriots like 3 years ago. We got like a 6th-round pick, but it is a situation where it's like, if Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith, if they're down for a couple of games, how are we going to get pressure? So I would love to get a guy in Trey Hendrickson. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Trey Hendrickson should look at what Josh Sweat did and said, I'm better than Josh Sweat. If they have me, the Eagles will go back to back. And if the Eagles go back to back, you can go out here, bet on yourself, and then cash in next season. I would frankly advise him to do that if I was his agent. Now, I am biased, but I do think it's a really, really good plan. You're going to be playing deep in the playoffs. You're going to be playing in January. You're going to be playing in February. So you might as well be on a team that is competing for a championship for a little bit below market value. Cash in and let's get it because the Bengals are playing games. All right, I got one more question about career advice in sports media. What sports media career advice do you have? It's a broad question. I appreciate the question because I want to have more topics where like I'm really talking to y'all about my life, who I am outside, like the Eagles, the Sixers, just the sports stuff. I want to get personable with y'all. Graduated from Morehouse, degree in communications, modern journalism. Went to NYU for grad school to get a master's in journalism. I just graduated from there officially, I guess, this past May. And my biggest advice in journalism is to start your own thing. Start your own thing that they can't take away from you. In this day and age of journalism, people in our generation, and I say my generation, I'm talking about Gen Z, I'm 24 years old. Most of the people that I know aren't getting their news from the Inquirer or New York Times. I mean, it's not a knock on them, it's just a different way that people now, young people, consume their news. So my biggest advice to somebody would be go out here, start your own page, a podcast, a blog, but make sure that you are knowing how social media works. If you don't know how social media works as a sports journalist, you're going to be in another field down the road because you're not going to be able to finance your bills and all that stuff without knowing how social media works. I'm just sorry because you have to meet people where they're at. Now, some folks have said, I like to write, all that stuff. You can still write, but you have to be creative in getting your message, in getting the story to somebody on social media. And people have a variety of ways and creative ways, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, to go out here and use social media to leverage their own thing. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And don't be scared. Go out there and do it because the first content you post is the worst content you post. And the last thing you post is probably the best thing that you post. Not always, but as you consistently grow, consistently just be consistent. Like I'm repeating consistent, but that's the biggest thing. Like if you scroll down a real talk in 2020, I was literally posting screenshots of the Apple podcast, like podcast description. And I'd say, all right, guys, episode 2, episode 3, episode 10 is out now on all platforms. And I would get like 4 likes. It'd be like my mom, my dad, my sisters, and my man Chad. It would basically be like that. Like I ain't had no fans for real. What I did though, I went on YouTube and I looked up like how to edit. It was bad at first, but I kept learning how to edit. I got proficient at it, started to get more advanced with it. And with that, it kind of simultaneously grew with my comfortability. You know what I'm talking about. How comfortable I was on camera. How comfortable I was on camera. So, and that's funny that I can't even say comfortably, right? While I'm saying I'm comfortable on camera, but that's what it is. Like it's all about consistency, and it's all about just having a grind. When you love it, because a lot of people they just get in the space. They like sports, but they don't love this stuff. Oh, you gotta love this stuff. But I'm chatting. Y'all be calling me Unk in the comments sometimes. I'm like, bro, I'm 24 years old. We're not about to do that. We are not about to do that. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we got so many questions that we're going to do another one next week on Monday. And again, this is going to be a series of questions that we answer from y'all and keep them coming. Just hit the DMs. Love y'all. I appreciate. I appreciate y'all. I'm sneezing, coughing, all this stuff. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all as much. MJ Way, I know I always keep it real. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We are out.